Hi, welcome to Tuesday's Tips and Tales with Cece live and comedian Corey Alexander. I called you the funny man on tweet today. Did you see my tweet?
I did. I retweeted the tweet.
You did?
Which was pretty sweet tweet.
I know. I was like, funny guy. Funny man Corey.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Yay. You had a bad
Always
day,
delicious.
though. I know. I take care of you. You know that. So how was your day?
Hello.
How was your weekend? It was a double header this weekend. We had Cinco de Mayo on Friday and then Kentucky Derby on Saturday.
Oh wow.
What'd you do?
Did you stay sober at all?
I actually was in bed on Saturday at like 9:30 because the Kentucky Derby party started early, and all the ladies were out and they were
Out and about.
Out and about. Oh my gosh! It was at Paramore, which is like this mainline staple.
You went to Paramore? Oh.
It was a fundraiser. It was for a good cause. It was a fundraiser, and
that's always good.
And I just wanted to go and see the ladies of the main line in their hats and
boy.
And there were a lot of women actually my age. There were tons of women there. You should have went there. Anyways, it was awesome. It was beautiful. They did a fabulous. The Paramore is in the Wayne Hotel in Wayne, Pennsylvania here, and it's a historic building, and they redid it. You could definitely say it could be New Yorkish if you didn't walk outside, of course. But it was great, and it was for a good cause. And these women and their hats, I did not wear a hat. I had a hat. It was like this big, and I'm so little. I was like, no, this just doesn't look right. I look like a bobblehead. The bobblehead with the big head and the...
Good for you.
So, yeah.
I'm just happy to be here with you.
We're back.
And your garlic breath.
I know, I had a little chickpea
My God.
salad.
It's making me hungry, but also making me nauseous at the same time, because it smells good, and then I hit the garlic hits me, and I'm like, all right, sinuses clear.
But there's dill in there, too.
Oh, there's something in there.
Sorry, I didn't have time to...
Smelling things I haven't smelled in 20 years.
I didn't have time to brush my choppers before we
She's like,
our show.
How do you want to start the show? I'm like, and with a breath mint? I don't know. How about that one? Maybe we start with a couple of lifesavers. What do you think?
No, I was saving it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Are my eyebrows melted off yet, or are they still good? All right, they're still on.
When your skin starts peeling, maybe.
No, weekend was good. Weekend, Friday, friends were in town, so we had dinner in Wayne, so that was kind of nice.
Where were you?
So I was local. Those went to Christopher's. So
For Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, I guess it wasn't really Cinco de Mayo.
There was hardly any Cinco de Mayo going on.
We didn't Cinco de Mayo. It was just like getting together with friends. And plus they had kids, so we did that whole thing.
Okay.
And then Saturday had a show, which, funny you bring up the Kentucky Derby, because at my show, I think everybody felt like they were at the Kentucky Derby with their mint juleps, and apparently by game time, by show time, some people weren't really remembering why they were there, which was to raise money for kids, which was nice. So I did raising funds too.
Where was that at?
However, they wanted to raise their vomit level along with their kid and their donations.
Where was that at?
This was up in New Jersey somewhere.
Mint juleps, right? That's like...
I think some of them had them, but for the Derby...
Like hardcore whiskey or something,
there were people that
right?
were blitzed before they even got to the show. It's like, really, can somebody stay sober? I mean, it's kids. And, which was even more coincidental, that this was a fundraiser for kids. We had the Derby, everybody was tanked. Every prize for the fundraiser was some alcohol-related prize. There was like a cooler for beer. Then like every gift basket had wine, cheese.
Were they opening it and like doing
I think they were like, just I'm going to sample the prize to make sure it's still okay. It was ridiculous. It was like, these three women just got hammer timed.
Were they young
they went to the bathroom.
What were they?
They went to the bathroom so they could probably see. I think what they did was they went to the bathroom. And the game was who can talk the loudest. And they're like, oh, I can do that. I can do that game.
You heard them in the bathroom?
Not only did we hear them in the bathroom, but it was down a hallway, and there was a door to the hallway that would close to keep out the sound. So we're like, all right, well, let's just close the door because they're obviously talking so loud they don't realize it's so drunk. We close the door. It's almost as if they got louder. They're like, oh, you can't shut the door on me. I'll talk even louder, mofo. It was absolutely absurd.
How old were they?
Oh, they were like in their early 40s, late 30s. I mean,
really?
Oh yeah, completely hammered.
Oh, they were blitzed.
Husbands didn't care.
Well, that's because they had a hall pass.
No,
for the night.
No, the husbands were there
they were
with
there?
them. And the husband didn't care.
Well, that's because they're drinking and saying, I can't deal with this woman anymore.
Oh, of course. They're probably like, this happens every weekend. Like, this is just par for the course. They probably just block. Like the kids, you know, when the kids start yelling, you just start blocking out. It's probably like the husband and the wife, they just block it
It's
out.
white noise.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. Yeah, go get drunk in the bathroom and pass out again. That'll be perfect. Another Tuesday night.
I know, I was going to say, it probably happens like a few times a week.
So, yeah. So it was a double dip for me, too. But I had like... I mean, it was great. Actually, the fundraiser overall was great. The crowd was overall fantastic. But it was like, yeah, it was definitely a double dip, and it was. I didn't know about the whole Derby thing until midway through. Then people were like, "I guess we're going to drunk with the Derby." I'm like, "Oh, that's why."
Right. Well, my horse came in like last.
But
I don't even know if it finished.
The best part about the show, nobody had garlic breath, so that was the nice part.
I'm sorry. I bet on the horse from Ireland, actually, from Southern Ireland. And they like
who won this?
flew
Screaming Days or something, or Happy Days or Up Your Days?
Amazing Days or
Amazing Grace.
As you can tell, we weren't.
Yeah, we were like Amazing something. Amazing.
We were too
I
busy,
can't remember who it was.
Dreams, something
Amazing
Dreams.
Amazing Dreams.
Something like that. Yeah.
Amy
Mine
Dreams.
was Snow Leopard, which came from Southern Ireland, which I had visited and golfed. Old Head, that area. Kinsale.
Did he play, show, anything?
We didn't see him on the board later. We were like, and it was muddy, and I think the poor guy was like, screw this, I want to be back in Ireland. But my,
So you didn't win anything?
no, but we weren't, it wasn't like, apparently you have to have some sort of license around here. They didn't have any betting at Paramore. You have to have a gambler's license.
Oh. You couldn't even have just like a little fun
Well, we
thing?
did amongst
Yourselves?
a group of 8 of us or 10 of us. And the guy who won, we were supposed to pay him $20, and he's like, don't worry about it. So he was kind of a good guy. Yeah, he's looking at it.
I would have taken the money and walked right.
I know you would have.
Yeah,
Trust me.
That would have been easy.
I know.
Why would I give it back?
I would have donated it. I totally would have.
I would have donated to the Alexander Fund of Perfect.
Corey Alexander of
handsomeness.
funnyguy.com. Right.
The old fish.
So it was it was really a nice weekend, but I was just done. I put on the dress, had a fabulous dress.
Came home and passed out?
No, I didn't pass out. I just came home and chilled. It was nice. I had a lot going on like this weekend. It was busy and
What time did you fall
I had to
asleep?
work. I think 9:30.
Oh.
Isn't that? I know.
Bad. You must be getting old.
No. When you start cocktailing at like 4 in the afternoon, I had a tennis.
the race at
I
6:30 or
had a
something?
tennis match in the morning, Sunday.
Did you win?
No, we didn't. We played doubles. It was raining. It was like 60-mile-an-hour winds and like spitting sleet.
Oh, perfect.
Do you remember
That's
how
the
cold it
exact
was?
perfect weather to play tennis.
And I said, really? We have to play in this? It was a mixed doubles. And we played against Marion, which Marion Cricket, all they do is play tennis all day long because they get gazillions of dollars and they don't have to work, right? But they're all
Who was your
beautiful
team?
players. Martin Stam.
You play for Martin Stam?
I do.
Do you belong to Martin Stam?
I do.
You know who's been a member there for 30 years?
You? Do you ever show up?
No. God, no.
Do you-
No, I play paddle until my shoulder
My
went.
shoulder got.
Yeah.
I'm going to take up paddle.
Yeah, no. Oh, I keep
Great
going.
club, by
Martin
the way.
Stam.
Good people.
Who knew? Look at this. We've
Yeah.
been friends all these years, and she belongs to Martin. She has garlic breath. Who knew these things?
Get
My
off
sinuses,
garlic
but
bread.
other than
I'm
that.
going to start breathing more on you if you don't stop.
So
that is why I kind of laid low on Saturday. And sometimes it's kind of nice to be all. I didn't have the little kid this weekend, which I always, excuse me, miss her. So,
a little sexiness.
so how about, did you see my tweets today? It was like a crazy day. I learned how to make a salad in a mason jar. And this 10-year-old poked her fingers up an alligator's nose, a 9-foot alligator, to get him to release her leg that was in her mouth. Totally. So
That's a great idea.
Right, so
I heard
she-
smacking the eye does it too, though.
poking the eyes.
Poking the eye.
So
poking
she
the
had gone
nostrils.
to Gatorland. I think I went there as a kid. Gatorland, and they tell you, hey, if you ever get, chomped on by a alligator, you stick your fingers up their nose. They stop breathing, and their mouth opens, and then she was gone. By that time, like people were, rescuing her and getting her out of there, but she totally
How bad was the
suffocated
leg?
her. She was on actually. She was on the Today Show today. Today Show.
Still has
So
the leg?
she was in the hospital, and
Still
no,
has
her
the leg?
leg still has the leg. So we'll see how that follow up is. But she saved her leg, and she was brave. I mean, I would have been panicking, right?
I would have been panicking.
Totally.
I don't know, yeah, because in those situations, you never know what's going to happen until it actually happens, and
You
that's
don't.
what sucks.
You don't.
Because you're thinking, I'm just going to get the hell out of here, and you're trying to rip your leg out, and then it's when you cause more damage, and...
I think my daughter would do that because she's very just get out of my face. I'm taking you down.
I would have been like, excuse me, sir, would you please?
Quit biting my leg off.
I would be like very polite, like, sir, please.
Right.
I'm going to put these up your nose.
She was awesome. And then I read about, on a different note, this ISIS taking over the Syrian refugee camp
Ooh, that's
of
not good.
like 80,000 people or something like that. Anyways, crazy stuff going on in the world. But tonight
Right.
is
Speaking
the
of
night.
crazy.
Crazy. It is part 3 and the last of 3.
Of 3.
About
Part 3 of 3. Which would make it the
divorce-
last part.
Divorce and dating.
We could extend it though.
We named
You
this.
may have seen a part 4 in there, if you're not paying attention.
We are live, right?
We are live.
Okay. Because I'm seeing, usually we see something going on down there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Divorce and dating and the meetup. So we've talked about divorce, how you got there, the struggles, what you deal with, dating websites. Well, you're finally meeting up for a date.
Which means...
No. So we will talk about that. We will talk about that.
Thank God.
But you're finally meeting up, and so the first date, especially if you're in social media, so you have the social media hook up, and then, or meet up. I shouldn't say hook up, but there's a lot of that. Meet up, and then you have
That
where
meet or
you're
meet?
fixed up by friends.
Is it the meet up or just
To meet up, to have dinner, to have drinks, to have coffee, to whatever, lunch. So you're finally there. Let's just say, let's use the app date, the meetup app, like off of Bumble, Tinder, or
Right.
whatever. So you're going to a restaurant, you're meeting up.
Just so you know, right now, my meet is up, so you can sure.
Somebody help
In
me.
case the ladies are just wondering.
Somebody help me. So we meet up,
Right.
and you walk in, and
Totally disgusting.
no, you know who you're hoping that the pictures look
Right.
like who you're meeting up.
Which is always a
'Cause
gamble.
it is such a gamble. And you look at the app and they say recent pics or not recent pics. And then you look at some and they're like, you could tell from one picture to the other, one is a lot older than the prior one. So you're going, wait a minute. Is he getting better or worse? Is he getting better or worse? I don't know. So you kind of find a happy
Aging
medium.
or Benjamin Button?
All right. So some of my friends usually, preface the date with like, "Will I recognize you from your pictures?" or are your pictures recent? So you walk in, you meet, and you're like, "Okay, all right, this is good." Now, is it a handshake or is it like a hug? It's definitely not like a kiss on the cheek, unless you've been chit-chatting on the phone for a long time. I don't even think, there's definitely no lip kiss.
What? Oh, when you first meet up?
When you first meet up.
Sometimes it is. I've had a first lip kiss.
From an app date?
We went like right at it. Like,
Come on. From an app date? Gross. Really?
no, just a pet kiss.
Sort of like a hug and like
kiss.
the cheek thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some.
So you meet
I'm not
up.
familiar with enough.
So you meet up, and
I don't know.
then you are, hey, Nishka. You meet up. You're at the bar. So a lot of these dates, app dates, you don't sit down for this like formal dinners are gone. You meet at the bar
Unless you
and you have
already-
appetizers.
Unless you were like intimate in the bathroom, then you probably over dinner. Right?
Intimate in the bathroom.
Yeah, if you want it, all of a sudden.
All right, let's get back on track here. You're at the bar, you're like talking, you're chit-chatting, and you definitely have to have a drink. Now, a lot of people who I had conversations with were like, I definitely have a cocktail before I meet somebody I've never met before. Would you do that?
No.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
do
do
that. You don't. I don't need to do that. So you're there,
Yeah,
you're having conversation, and everything's going well, right?
No.
And you have a drink, and you have a great conversation, everything's good, arm starts going around, maybe a little hand on the leg. Yeah.
Yeah, elbow to the chest.
Yeah. Then
Then?
what? So he leans in
Grab a little?
to give you a kiss. No, come on.
That's why.
He leans in to give you a kiss.
Right.
Do you give him the cheek or do you go like on
Oh,
lips?
see, I've got the cheek before. That's no good.
Yeah, if she does the cheek,
And that
means you're done, right?
I've
Or
got,
they
I've
might
got
not
the cheek
like.
on the third date. Third date, I get
Why
the
would
cheek.
you go out on a third date cheek?
Well, I just thought it was good chemistry the first. It was a quick. I think the first date was like a quick, had a drink real fast because we were with crazy schedules.
Okay.
The second one was like a more of like we had a couple of drinks, still kind of busy. But third day was like, all right, we sat down, we had dinner. We're like, all right, we really like each other. We talked a lot, and then
So
it was
second date,
Like, it
nothing.
was like going outside and going to the car, and I went for the kiss, and I got the.
Was there a
cheek.
fourth date?
No,
Was that per you or her?
per minute. I mean, it was like if I got the cheek, and then she's not really into a kiss.
Is that
like,
because
third
she
date.
didn't let you grab her boob?
I still grabbed it anyway. She wasn't into kissing,
She's
but
like, oh, you're
the
not going to kiss me, so I'm going to grab your boob.
boobs and sex were fine, but she
Because
just didn't want to kiss.
you're a boob
It's
man.
kind of like a Pretty Woman thing, you know. There's just no making out, no kissing, but a lot of sex.
Oh my goodness. I hope you use protection.
No, I just think at that point, if there's no like physical chemistry yet, and
Well,
by the
that's-
third date, there's something not there.
So
Something missing.
the meetup, we're talking about the meetup after the whole, everything we've talked about divorce and,
Right.
and getting there and all the struggles and apps and this, that, and the other. And so you're both having, have your cocktail and he leans in. If you get it, or she does, I usually see, my friends are saying usually they don't lean in. They wait for the guy to lean in.
God.
Most of the women that I know in the divorce world and my cougar clients that told me so many stories usually wait for the guy. They're still a little old fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah, they like the guy to make the first move. Do you think that should still apply this day and age?
Maybe.
No, come on,
No.
get serious. Let's talk a little serious. Serious.
Serious.
Sure.
I would say that a guy should make the first move, but it's nice to get a little touch of the leg from the lady or something that
Right,
shows
yeah.
that she's receptive.
Right.
That should you make that
But
move,
who goes
she's in.
first? Who pulls the trigger first?
The guy should pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But again,
If
I
the girl
like
does this
Yeah.
or she doesn't do this,
Yeah.
the lean in, right?
Something
Is it
a
called
little-
the lean in?
if she gives you like a little half lean and then she's kind of making a little progression and she puts the hand like I think that's like I will make the lean. I will make the first move, knowing that you'll be receptive to it.
So men have that radar, right?
Yeah, oh,
They
yeah.
know like pretty quickly if
There's there's some guys who don't, but it's like everybody. There's some women who don't, some guys who don't. I mean,
Right.
it's equal. But if you have dated enough that you can tell the signs, then you should be able to make that first move. It shouldn't be just like an awkward like, it should have something.
Sometimes they're like, can I lick your face?
Ugh.
Right?
Yeah, it should be something where it's like you both kind of lean in soft, gentle, nice.
How about
And try not to do it at the
how about the
bar.
surprise attack?
But just try to do it at the bar.
How about
Like,
the
don't
sur-
make it a whole PDA because she might not be comfortable with PDA. So make sure it's like outside the bar in the car.
She or he.
She or he.
But I think when
I mean,
you
yeah.
start talking
if
and
there's a move at the bar that just
Right.
seems right, then go for it. But just, I tend to you class up on the first date, like if something like first or second date. If you're gonna kiss, like try and do it not PDA because she may not be, or he may not be all comfortable with it either.
so you get through dinner.
Right.
You're through dinner, appetizers, and it's, hey, you want to go have a nightcap? Do you go?
I don't wear those.
Nightcap. Do you go and have an after dinner drink?
If it's going well.
Okay.
But dinner's
So-
also like dinner's usually for me is a second date because you want to find out if there's chemistry in the first date with just some drinks or coffee or something.
Well, usually, so the group that I chatted with, they're all, I'm going to say 99% of them, their first date was meeting for a drink and
Right.
having appetizers.
Right, you go. Also
Right.
acceptable. Yes.
And it either usually followed with, hey, let's go have a nightcap,
Nightcap.
or
See you later.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Behind.
So let's get another drink or it's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
I hope
Don't
they
let
work out
the door
well
hit you in the
in your
ass.
parents' basement.
Then you have this decision of when do you get naked?
Right after the first date.
You're kidding. He's kidding. Yeah, no, it's
Car ride home.
and when you're divorced of all different ages, I think when you're younger, the younger folks are like, sure,
Yeah.
I'll hook up with whoever. Because now, technically, none of these young folks, the millennials, it's not you don't date, you hang out.
Right.
So, I think there's a lot of like some pimping going on those apps where they
Some
just like they
magical
hook up
mystery
and they
tour, what are you
get
doing?
lucky. then you get the middle-aged people, 50-ish crowd, who are doing the same thing. Because there's such an inventory, which I've talked about before, of women out there that these men are like, I'm just gonna see how many women I can go with. And then the people that are like, I'm in New York for the night. Let me just see who's out there. Okay. So there's like whole world of, I think it's actually getting to the point where it's going to be, relationships are going to be non-existent or very rare because everybody's independent. Everybody has, a decent job or a great job. You're older, you're established, you got a family already, you're divorced. And it's like, I'm just going to have fun because I didn't for the first 24 years of my marriage.
True.
Or somebody was screwing around, and we talked about this before. In my book, I have the cougar and the divorcee chapter where they both talk about husbands cheating on them and them just going crazy. Like crazy, let's date and hook up, and I'm just not going to settle down with anybody.
Nice.
Yeah. But then you're going to be careful. Because people think, oh, well, I'm middle-aged. I'm going to just have free sex and love. And you can't these days because somebody's got something.
How about some do's and don'ts for the divorce crowd on the first date?
Yeah.
They need to know. So how about some of these?
Didn't we talk about these before?
I think we did, but it's made a good refresher. So
on the first date.
A couple of do's and don'ts. Couple of do's. Be open to unexpected date ideas. So if...
Would that mean swinging with a friend?
Maybe like going to do karaoke or something for the first night.
I would love that.
Or bingo or bowling. Just something
golf.
Unexpected. Or even golf. Going hitting T-balls or something.
I wouldn't do that on a first date though. I think the first date has to be, let's talk face to face and see if we even have chemistry or compatibility.
But that might help. I mean, for some people who are not great at conversation, especially some of these millennials that it's all texting and social media.
They don't go golfing.
Maybe like a little bingo night or karaoke night, watching
bingo
other things.
Night? Are you freaking kidding me? They'll go to that bowling bar where it's a bar, Lucky Strikes or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is great. But again, I'm going to go back that how do you really get to know a person if like you're bowling, there's music blaring?
Bowl at a rapid pace. You can just take a bowl and kind of hang out. Take a bowl and hang out. A couple of beers. The whole thing about bowling is that
that's a second date.
All you do is sit there and stare at each other and watch other guys get fatter in the other lanes. How hard is that?
I go for the straight.
Don't go somewhere overflowing with eye candy. So yes, so don't be something where it's a lot.
How are you going to know that?
Well, you can make a bar that's kind of like a low down bar that's mostly couples or something more of a,
First of all, if the guy or the girl are going to be staring at hot people, who want, like, if you're trying to be in a conversation, to me, that shouldn't even be a factor. It should be like, I'm focused on you. I don't care if Giselle Bundchen is that how you pronounce it? Tom Brady just
walked in. What if a girl walks
door.
by with huge cans? I mean, the guy might be a little distracted. What if a guy walks by with like a shirt off? I mean, I'm sure you'd be like,
First of all, I would never be in a place with a guy with a shirt off. Second of all, unless it was a pool bar. But no, honestly, of all the women and people I've worked with, it's when you're focused on meeting someone, because you've spent all that time.
Right.
You're like online, you're like, you're communicating, you're emailing, you're on the phone.
Well, I think it's just I'm just making a point of this, like, just try not to go to like one of these upscale hoity-toity, like a lot of people peacocking around. Just make sure you go to like a sort of a casual bar so that you can get to know each other, that kind of thing.
Hey Jay's signed in from Shanghai.
Wear sexy underwear, because what they're saying is be confident with yourself. So wear
Who
some.
else do we have here?
Sheila.
Oh, hey Sheila, how are you?
So wear some sexy underwear just so you feel sexy about yourself, so you feel very confident.
Yeah, and you can wear sexy lingerie underneath, and that doesn't mean that you have to get naked with the guy, but you're right, it's all about confidence.
There you go.
And that goes along with dressing. Like, go out and get yourself a new shirt or a new pair of pants, and even if the date doesn't work, even if the date doesn't work out, you feel good, man or woman, and go for it.
And they said don't forget to bring some dental supplies. So if you go to get some apps and something stuck in your teeth, maybe excuse yourself, but take some dental floss, something, because you don't want to get caught off guard with something so stupid as like a piece of lettuce in your teeth or something stuck between your teeth, or bad breath at the last minute, so make sure you have mints and that kind of stuff, or you're not smelling like garlic the whole time, something to that effect. So
I'm so glad we're just friends.
What were you saying?
If someone, I had some garlic before the show. Before the show. If someone is going to not date me because I have a little piece of basil in my tooth and I haven't like wedged it out with dental floss, I don't know. I mean, why would I want to be with that person?
Really? So guys like, hey, how's it going? You want to make it out a little bit?
I'm hoping he'll pick it up. I would say to the
You're
guy,
gonna be tonguing
you have a little something right here.
You're going to be tonguing his broccoli between his teeth instead of his actual tongue.
What does Jay say?
He says morning.
Good morning.
This is a nice one. Call a friend for a pep talk.
Oh, I like that.
So if you doubt a little bit or you're nervous,
like
call a friend. Be like, pump me up. It's like, oh, you're hot, you're sexy, you're great, got a huge wiener, you got huge cans, whatever you got to say. Get them excited for the day, get them confident. I like that.
I like that. That's sort of like that game, Millionaire.
Yeah.
Where you have phone a friend.
So just call like
Lifeline.
Call your
Lifeline.
Even if it's your parents, whatever. Call a friend,
Right.
call a family member, anybody. Just say, hey, I'm going on this date, I'm a little nervous. Have them pump you up. That's a good idea.
I think that's great. I think out of all those ideas, I like that the most. Besides the lingerie.
No, they do recommend maybe some sort of social interaction. This is a kind of a judgment call. Social interaction on social media, just to see like their Facebook or their Instagram, just to see what kind of friends they.
Absolutely.
Just to see what friends they have. What they're into. If it's like all these pictures of like dirty whores on his page or something, then obviously you're like, all right, this guy's a bit of a sex hound, so you move on. Or if you see that he has like mostly all women and like no guys, and okay, this guy's a bit of a player, so just be careful.
So that is a great point because.
Or it could be the opposite. You gotta be careful too, because if he's a lot of guy friends, very minimal girls, maybe he's hiding the girls. Who knows? So
you just never know.
be careful.
It's a good point, and out
Thank you.
of the women that I have chatted with, and the men are less likely to do this. Is one of the first or second questions the girls ask my friends is, are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? I like if they're on LinkedIn because...
See if they're working.
Well,
So you make like 700,000, we might have a date. I think that'd be fine.
No. It's Facebook can be deceiving, I think, sometimes.
Could be.
Twitter, you don't really get to know someone. You can see who they follow, and if it's a bunch of, porn stars and strippers, then...
Right.
And they're all over Twitter, by the way. Holy crap. Like, I get these, I definitely get these women who I'll open up a new follower and I'll be like, whoa, wish I had that little backyard going on, right?
You got something there. A little tattoo and a little garden in the bedroom.
No.
But they talk about a couple other things.
I think that's great. Yeah.
One thing is...
Do your research and your homework.
Yeah.
No, really. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but it's so critical. Besides, like, meeting people at places, yeah. But I want to chat more about after the meeting.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Finish.
And then,
yeah.
have a positive attitude, but also be careful of the drinks. So be careful of leaving your drink on the thing. Be careful of having too many drinks. You may do something that you don't want to do.
Bring your drink with you.
Maybe even have a spotter there. A friend that might say, hey, listen, we're going to this bar. You might stop by.
That's a great idea.
Have a friend stop by, make sure you see him a little bit, kind of eye him up, because always two opinions are better. It's like, oh, he looks like a good guy.
That happens a lot where, from the woman's perspective, out of the women that I chatted with, they often say, hey, can you meet this guy that I'm meeting up with? Just show up at the bar. And yeah, first of all, if they if they kill you or, chop you up,
right.
They know who they are. But also, it's always good to have a second opinion from a friend, because you may think, oh, this person's wonderful and great, but then your friend meets him and says, what are you smoking? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I went on a date a couple years ago, and she had showed up, she was meeting me there, and I got there pretty much right on time, and she already had like 4 friends with her. They were all kind of having some drinks and stuff.
Posse.
I know. But she
were
was
you
already having
nervous?
drinks with them, but I kind of sensed like she wanted everybody to kind of meet me and see how I reacted to her friends, because a lot of guys comes over and be like, pushes her friends out of the way, just like, I always want to meet you, and then they get a sense that maybe this guy, not the right guy, that he would skew her friends. So I made sure I met all the friends, knew all their names.
Were you like, what's up, ladies?
Yes. Or like, I'll take you one at a time, or we're on the train reverse. But they liked it. I made some jokes with them. They enjoyed it. They kind of met me up and they gave the thumbs up. So it was all good.
Nice.
So sometimes that happens. Just make sure you make eye contact with all the friends. You meet all the friends. Do the right thing so that then you meet your date. But always try to make your other friends feel comfortable before you dive into your date.
Have you ever had a date gone bad? I have.
Oh, of course.
Oof.
Oh, of course. course.
We talked about
Many.
stalkers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So one time, this was years ago. You know, I'm just coming off the marriage divorce thing, but years ago, this guy, you know, called me, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to bed. Da, da, da. I'm really not up to singing. He showed up on my doorstep, banging the door, and I was like,
You was having sex with your door?
no. He showed
Should've
up on my
banged the door.
doorstep, but that's kind of scary. I lived alone at the time,
I love your
and
screen.
I lived alone at the time, and
Oh, wow.
it was
That's
frightening.
scary.
It was scary, and I think more for women than men. I think men actually like stalkers. I do. I honestly think
That is kind of cool.
the men like the girls that are the damsel in distress, the stalkers, the ones that are just like cray.
Oh, you're the worst. Well,
You like cray cray.
Speaking of
Totally likes
I know,
cray
it's
cray.
weird. You know what's funny is that you bring that up is that I had a buddy of mine who's a little kooky himself. He's just not.
Do I know?
He's a lovable guy, but he's just very weird. And I don't know how he got this weird, but he's just a weird guy. But he's a good soul. You know, one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
He just has some idiosyncrasies, just some weirdness, and he was having a very tough time meeting people. And he went on this dating app.
Which one do you know?
I forget which one it was. This was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And he was telling how he was talking to her, and they've exchanged numbers, and they were calling each other. And he just asked kind of where she lived, and then he kind of said, you know, oh, where about the street do you live? And he kind of figured it out, you know, generally where she lived. And she goes, yeah, that's where I live. And he's like, okay. Well, she calls him up like a week later, and they're about to go on their date. And she goes, yeah. She's like, I was thinking about maybe you pick me up, but I figured, well, let's just meet there and figure it out. And he goes, okay. I was like, well, I already did drive by your house, and I really think it's cool, but if you need to pick up, I can. Why would you say that? He drove by her
Did she
house.
actually show up for
No,
the date?
she
I was
can't-
gonna say
She
that was
canceled-
wigging
She
me
canceled
out.
the date like the next day.
Oh,
it
I
was
totally
hilarious. I'm like, Dan, why would you
Dude.
tell her you drove by her? Dude.
That's like a girl's worst
Oh.
nightmare, especially if you don't, you know, you're not dating.
And he's telling the story
He's
like,
like, what?
he's
What
telling
did I do
the
wrong?
story like, I can't believe she didn't show up. I can't
Wrong.
believe it's like, no, what did I say that was bad? Oh, I don't know, that you stalked her house before you even met the girl? Crazy, I know.
Cray.
They made a nice point here is to balance the thing. So don't act interested in his or her conversation, be interested, but don't turn it into like a therapy session. Like don't get into like
Oh my
family
god,
values.
talking about the exes and like
So just
problems
keep
you're
it light,
having,
but keep it
light.
interesting and show interest in the conversation. But don't get too deep in the weeds already on the first date. Let that come naturally in the second date.
So many people in my research of this part 3 series, of all 3 parts, they like throw up their issues with their ex, and the date just goes, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm gone. And you just don't need to bring those people in the world, because if they're divorced and kind of dealing with the same thing, they don't want to hear it. They need a break from it. But also, it makes you look like, I don't know, just kind of cranky and just not interesting and bitching. And somebody worded it to me once like, you know what, I as much as you want to share and stuff, you got to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you come out of like if you come out of the shoot just like, oh, my ex did this, my ex did that, and this is what blah 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 blah
I think
blah blah
yeah,
blah,
I think everybody.
it ends. I mean, you there will not be a second date. I can guarantee you.
Well, here's the thing. Now they also say this. Now I don't know how you don't do this, but they said that don't talk about sex. Well, almost every.
What do you mean don't talk about sex?
It says not to really bring up sex. on
Like
the
how
first
many
date.
positions? What's your favorite? That
Just
kind,
anything about
or do
anything
you
related to
have
sex, which is real
I
because
kinda-
I think it automatically happens organically because I think it's men and women. It's a first date.
Oh,
I would just say-
disagree. No. I went out on a date.
You don't think you should talk about sex at all on the first date?
No.
I think if it comes up
That's
organically.
the difference between a man and a woman.
Talk about all the jewelry you're
Caveman.
gonna buy me. Talk about all the shoes I can wear.
I don't think you have. It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate.
It can be appropriate if she wants to talk about it. It comes up
All right,
organically.
tell me what you would talk about. That would be sex. I disagree.
Not sex, but just if it comes about like
Do you like it from behind or
just like it's,
missionary? Is that what you're
it's
talking
crazy.
about?
Like something about the sexual world. So it comes up organically that you just happen to talk about sex. Like I was really crazy with my ex in the last relationship with the sex and stuff.
I would never see a person again if they said that. Talked about their ex having crazy
Well,
sex.
that's different for a guy.
I
If a girl brings
think-
it up,
Girl isn't going to bring that up.
and she's crazy,
She's not
then
gonna
sex
bring
will be good. Then you keep going.
All right, this is what I agree to, is there is conversation when you're talking about, especially if you meet on an app, about oh, Tinder, that's just for hookups. Everybody just wants to have sex. That's okay. But on a first date, I would not throw that out there. You're going to scare that other person away unless the guy is like purely in it for sex. You can't just like, first of all, I don't think you should talk about sex with anybody in the past when you're on a present date. Do you agree?
Well, I mean, in general, probably talking about sex the first date is not the best option, but my philosophy is if it comes up organically, somehow it comes up. I don't know if it just, she brings it up or he brings it up. As a woman, I'd probably say then put a little brakes on, but as a guy, if she brings it up, I think it's okay. But don't get too dirty with it. Don't get it extended with it. Don't belabor it.
I just wonder what woman would bring that up, unless she was purely into just getting something that night.
Well, once again, my meat is up. Ayo.
Oh my goodness.
Last but not least,
yes.
what they tell you is, do break the rules if you want to. There's no reason if you don't want to break the rules.
I agree with that.
If it's one of those things where...
It's got to be mutual, though.
Yeah.
It has to be a mutual consent.
If it gets a little crazy, then it gets a little crazy. And or it doesn't have to be necessarily physical, but again, break the rules. So if you have a great date, and the next day you're anxious to call him, don't feel like you shouldn't call him.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that.
And text him, just say, like, thanks for dinner. I mean,
hey,
the biggest
great
thing
night, lots of fun.
The biggest thing I can impart on women, guys always love the next day. Especially if you pay for everything, guys love the next day. Just, hey, thanks again for a great dinner and drinks. Thanks for taking me out. I really enjoyed it. I hope to see you soon. Nothing wrong with that. Especially if you know that the guy, especially if you guys hooked up a little bit, if you know the guy likes you, don't be afraid to make that first move with the text next day to say thank you. I think that's really good. Thumb, yeah, she did say that.
And on that note...
She could have said bang him right in the but she didn't.
On another note, I agree with that. Don't be afraid to break the rules. I agree with that. Just be safe if you're going to break the rules, and it's okay to follow up. In today's day and age, it is definitely okay to have that, follow up. The girl should let the guy know. And by safe, she means put the gun beside the bed just in case you need it. And as far as paying for things, I think it should be discussed. Like, if the guy's just like, no, like, I always offer to split. Oh my God, I'm going to kill him. I always offer the guy sex. If he doesn't want it, then we're okay. Next date. We need to wrap up. We're almost on an hour, which we've been told we should not go over an hour. Right. We started at 7:30. I know. So, only 45 minutes. But 45 minutes. Anyways, I have, Go ahead. As far as paying, definitely, the men should, the men always offer, and most women I know offer, and then if the man's like, no, I think that's cool. I don't think the woman should be like, oh, I'm feminist, so I'm gonna like pay. Be a woman, be feminine, be pursued. If he wants to pay and be the man, let him be the man. Exactly. Because men love being the man. I think that's a great point, is that, ladies, there's nothing wrong with offering to pay on the first date. Now, if you offer and he insists or accepts your money, then I would probably dump that guy. Because I think on the first date, it's just every guy's obligation to pay. Unless there's no chemistry. Unless it was obvious that you guys would never meet again, and then the guy just takes some money, he's like maybe the tip money or something. But I don't think I've ever gone on the first date and not paid the full thing, even if I didn't like them. Really? I think it's okay that if you both know, it's just one of those, like, it's a write-off. I mean, it's like, that's why you don't go heavy. You don't go with like the Four Seasons and things like that on the first date. The Four Seasons. You don't go crazy high end. I don't think I've ever gone high crazy. Well, as I say, but the bottom line is I like that. Right. It's just, ladies, just at least in the check-ins, be like, listen, can I throw you anything? Can I throw anything? Right. And pay the I would say 98% of the time you're gonna have the guy go, no, I got it. And the guys just want to hear. I think they just want to hear that it's. Yes. Right. That's a good point. We just want to hear that you would be willing to offer. Not that. That's all we want. Absolutely. It's a reach, as George can say. I just want to reach. Just give me a reach. That's all I want. Reach around? And a reach around. A reach for the check and a reach around. Men have a sensitive side to them as well. So, as we end the series of divorce and dating, hopefully we gave you guys some great perspective on, how you got there, what to do, how to deal with it, and then moving forward. Because it's not easy at all. It's not easy. And depending on where you are in your life, from a professional standpoint, work, relationship, age, children, family, everybody has a challenge. And you just have to kind of put your arms around what you want, and don't falter from that. Don't like give in like, oh, I'm going to be with this person because I'm alone and I'm lonely. Screw that. Stick to your guns. You will meet the right person. It will happen.
Exactly.
Just don't give in, and don't put yourself out there in a dangerous way to be like, I'm so lonely, I want to be with this person. And you end up like
sleeping with you on the first date.
You know, he's got your underwear over his head and you don't know how you got there. You have to be safe. And
well, yeah, but the underwear doesn't have to be on the head. The underwear could be on the shoulder.
you could be wearing your underwear. Just be
face.
careful. Just be, don't scale back on what you want in a person. Do not. Because you will find that person. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I can deal with this. And you're not gonna. And you're gonna end up in the same position you were as
the bottom line, ladies, if you're low, lonely, and desperate, and really low self-esteem, call me first. I'll walk you through.
On that note, I'll say, please don't call him.
I'll be there in a minute to help you out.
But write into us. Love to give you some advice. I'm not going to say it's like the perfect advice, but we're common sense. We're the modern day Masters and Johnson. Read my book, Beaver Tales. There's tons of information there on and great stories about women and men who have had challenges, but also come out and there's tons of humor and cheekiness and sexiness.
The best part about that book, no garlic breath. It doesn't smell at all.
Oh
so.
my gosh. Anyways, everyone, have an awesome Tuesday, and next week we will be in touch. I'm gonna look out for my tweets and my Facebook posts because
your tweets. I'm sorry.
My tweets,
I thought you said something
because
else.
I'm gonna spin it up a little different next week. Yeah.
There you go.
So catch me on social media, and thank you for joining us. We had a
Don't
great
forget,
night.
Me, CoreyAlexander.net. Come see a show. Corey Comedy on Twitter. Corey Comedy on Facebook. Check out some shows. If you tell me that you have watched a CC and Corey live episode, I will get you free tickets to my next show.
And tell me, and I will send you a book.
There you go.
All right?
So there it is.
And there we have it.
Show us that you read. Quote something from the show, so we showed it, that you watched it, and we will send you free tickets.
And www.beavertalesbook.com. Just reach out to me. You know how to get me, and we will have some fun.
Check out our tweets.
Good night. Happy Tuesday, and have a great week, everybody. Cheers. Good night.